The past harbors countless enigmas still awaiting discovery. Beneath well-trodden chronologies and meticulously woven tales, dispersed traces linger. Abandoned edifices, their architects anonymous, stand mute. Ancient remnants, veiled by seas that stealthily surged eons ago, bide their time. Peculiar scripts carved into rock yet yearn to voice their truths. Our chronicle asserts society sparked a mere 6,000 years back, yet findings worldwide dispute this plain notion. At sites like Gobekli Tepe, raised long before urban birth, or Mount Padang in Indonesia, its roots fiercely contested, we catch fleeting signs that humanity's earliest grand epoch might not belong to us. This isn't a tale of covert schemes. It's a journey into history's depths. So, settle in, snag a bite, and let the story wash over you. Whether you're laboring, unwinding, or letting this hum softly behind you, I'll steer you through every facet. The true enigma doesn't stem from outlandish notions. It's buried in how little we truly grasp about those who tread this world before us. Let's plunge in. To fathom why queries about ancient cultures resonate, we must first briefly probe the timeline we've adopted as our heritage. Modern humans, folks like you and me, have roamed for roughly 300,000 years. For most of that immense span, our kin lived as wanderers, drifting in small clans, tracking beasts, and harvesting flora. Their days centered on raw survival. No fixed hamlets, no scripts, no towering structures existed, just the gentle, steady cadence of existence, leaving few marks to narrate their saga. Yet, around 12,000 years ago, a pivotal shift began. As the last ice age faded, global climate steadied and warmed. For the first time, people sowed crops and tamed creatures, marking a vast leap from roaming to rooting in one spot. This change, called the Neolithic Revolution, birthed lasting settlements, swelled populations, and wove more intricate societies. Ultimately, it cleared the path for what we deem the first true cultures. The earliest known cities arose around 6,000 years ago in places like Uruk in Mesopotamia or Jericho in the Levant. These fledgling urban hubs marked a bold step, uniting people into larger groups, forging trade routes, establishing rulership, and crafting grand temples, fortifications, and monumental works. Soon after, writing emerged, letting humans log events, laws, and tales, formally launching what we call recorded history. Yet, stepping back to view this wider canvas, our society seems strikingly young. Of about 300,000 years of modern human life, only the last 6,000 years, roughly 2%, capture all we link to civilization. Nearly all our self-knowledge, etched in carvings, clay, scrolls, and texts, hails from this brief recent sliver. This sparks a gripping question. What of the myriad millennia before we scribed our tale? Could earlier chapters lie undiscovered? This vast chasm in our historical grasp opens gateways to enthralling possibilities. Archaeology hinges wholly on what endures through ages, but preservation is elusive. Organic relics swiftly decay. Coastal cities now rest beneath rising waves. Natural calamities, volcanic eruptions, quakes, and climatic shifts have repeatedly reshaped Earth's surface. Thus, countless hints of ancient societies may have simply vanished. Today, we keep uncovering relics and structures that seem older, more complex, and harder to align with our standard timeline. Sites like Gobekli Tepe in Turkey, dating back over 11,000 years, or debated locales like Mount Padang in Indonesia raise vital queries. If these were indeed built millennia before the accepted dawn of settled society, who crafted them? How did they achieve such feats? What drove them? This doesn't imply secret plots or fabled lost realms. Rather, it softly affirms a simple truth. Human history may be far deeper and richer than we've yet grasped. Even scholars admit we've unearthed but a fraction of our distant past. Perhaps our timeline isn't wrong, just unfinished. Perhaps, within those vast uncharted eras, lie cultures whose faint echoes we're only starting to notice. Could our view of civilization's roots still be evolving? That's the quest we're embarking on, probing finds that subtly hint at a human story more captivating and mysterious than we'd dared imagine. While the chronology we generally embrace for human society is clear and widely accepted, certain finds quietly challenge this narrative. Perhaps no place has ignited more wonder than a cluster of ancient sites in southeastern Turkey, with Gobekli Tepe the most renowned. Nearby, lesser-known spots like Karahan Tepe, Navali Kori, Hamzan Tepe, and Sefer Tepe also weave compelling tales, gently urging us to rethink what we know of our earliest kin. Gobekli Tepe was first noted by Istanbul University researchers in the 1960s, but its true weight went unseen until 1994, when German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt began excavating. At first, the site seemed a plain hill, but beneath layers of soil, Schmidt's team uncovered something extraordinary: massive T-shaped stone pillars arranged in rings, some towering over 16 feet and weighing tons. Dated to nearly 12,000 years ago, long before farming or fixed towns, this revealed Gobekli Tepe was built by hunter-gatherers, people we assumed lacked the means or structure for such grand endeavors. What makes Gobekli Tepe truly captivating isn't just its age, but the intricate carvings adorning these colossal pillars. Creatures like vultures, serpents, and foxes, alongside abstract forms and enigmatic humanoid figures, grace the stones. Their meaning eludes us. Some scholars suggest they may embody spiritual or cosmic tales, perhaps even celestial maps. Many stone circles align precisely with astronomical events, hinting at a deep grasp of the natural world. Yet, the deepest riddle is that Gobekli Tepe was deliberately buried around 10,000 years ago. This immense task begs the question, why? Was it a symbolic gesture, a closure, or a bid to shield the site for reasons lost to time? No one knows. Recently, Karahan Tepe, just 46 kilometers away, has also drawn eyes. Sharing traits with Gobekli Tepe, it boasts T-shaped pillars, carved visages, and meticulously crafted chambers, suggesting it belongs to the same cultural thread. Alongside Gobekli Tepe and smaller sites like Navali Kori, Hamzin Tepe, and Sefer Tepe, they form a network dubbed the Taz Tepeler, or Stone Hills. Navali Kori, unearthed in the 1980s and 1990s, revealed structures mirroring Gobekli Tepe before a dam submerged it. Hamzin Tepe and Sefer Tepe, though smaller, show Gobekli Tepe wasn't a lone endeavor but part of a broader web across a vast region. These finds upend the notion that hunter-gatherers lacked the means for grand projects. Their scale and sophistication prove otherwise. How did these early bands unite, orchestrate labor, and erect such monuments before settled life or farming? Scholars still probe these riddles. Some posit that sites like Gobekli Tepe drew hunter-gatherers for rituals, forging tighter bonds and perhaps spurring fixed communities. Such gatherings might have even inspired farming's dawn. Klaus Schmidt suggested these communal feats may have nudged people toward agriculture, not the reverse. Others tread cautiously, noting how little we truly know. Why did Gobekli Tepe's construction halt abruptly? Why was it buried with such care? Why haven't we found clearer traces of similar cultures elsewhere? One theory holds these monuments were hubs for ceremonies, fostering stronger societies that paved the way for complexity. Another suggests they arose amid the climatic upheavals of the Ice Age's end, uniting people against new trials. The point isn't that these enigmas hint at the supernatural, but that the deeper we dig, the more we see how much history eludes us. Gobekli Tepe and its kin don't rewrite the past dramatically. They quietly remind us our knowledge may be but a fragment. In the end, sites like Gobekli Tepe, Karahan Tepe, Navali Kori, Hamzin Tepe, and Sefer Tepe matter because they open new queries. They offer tangible mysteries grounded in real research. These places invite us to ponder our past beyond simple tales, reminding us calmly that many chapters of humanity's story await exploration, understanding, and sharing. Gobekli Tepe and its neighboring sites aren't the sole ancient enigmas puzzling scholars. Thousands of kilometers away in Indonesia lies another cryptic locale, Gunung Padang, often simply called Mount Padang. Nestled in West Java's dense jungles, this striking site has become one of archaeology's most debated mysteries. Initially appearing as a hill strewn with stone blocks, it was known locally and occasionally visited but not deeply studied until recent decades. Yet, when researchers probed closer, they swiftly realized something peculiar lay beneath. At first glance, visible features include terraced volcanic stone columns, giving a stepped look. Early studies dated these to 2,500 to 3,500 years old, fitting neatly with other Indonesian megalithic sites. But detailed geophysical surveys over the past decade revealed the unexpected. What seemed a natural hill was layered, built in stages with hidden structural features deep below. Researchers found large chambers, terraces, and precisely arranged stone walls, suggesting Mount Padang isn't natural but a deliberately crafted monument of vast scale. The question then arose, how old is Mount Padang? Radiocarbon dating yielded wildly varied results. Surface layers dated to around 3,000 years ago, but deeper layers suggested 8,000 to 10,000 years. With some underground samples hinting at a staggering 20,000 years or more. If true, this would make Mount Padang one of the oldest monumental structures known, far predating Egypt's pyramids or Stonehenge. This age debate sparked heated arguments among archaeologists. Many mainstream scholars flagged issues with deeper samples, possibly tainted by natural carbon rather than human-made materials. Critics demanded stricter validation for such ancient dates. Proponents, however, cited robust geophysical evidence, structural complexity, and layered construction to argue Mount Padang was far older than thought. The debate peaked in 2023 when researchers published a paper claiming definitive proof that Mount Padang was the world's oldest pyramid-like structure, potentially over 20,000 years old. This stirred global headlines and controversy. Yet, in 2024, the paper was retracted amid peer-reviewed concerns about methodology and data interpretation, especially the reliability of radiocarbon dates from soil rather than clear artifacts. Critics demanded stricter validation for such ancient dates. Proponents, however, cited robust geophysical evidence, structural complexity, and layered construction to argue Mount Padang was far older than thought. The debate peaked in 2023 when researchers published a paper claiming definitive proof that Mount Padang was the world's oldest pyramid-like structure, potentially over 20,000 years old. This stirred global headlines and controversy. Yet, in 2024, the paper was retracted amid peer-reviewed concerns about methodology and data interpretation, especially the reliability of radiocarbon dates from soil rather than clear artifacts. If built 3,000 to 5,000 years ago, it aligns with Southeast Asian timelines but still raises questions about its sophisticated construction. Either way, Mount Padang's uncertainty is its fascination, highlighting how little we truly know of our distant past. Archaeology thrives on interpreting surviving fragments, and sites like Mount Padang challenge and excite, urging researchers to question assumptions and embrace surprising possibilities. Mount Padang isn't alone in challenging history's standard narrative. While land-based sites intrigue, some of the most compelling clues may lie beneath the ocean. Countless submerged ruins worldwide quietly suggest entire societies vanished under rising seas millennia ago. After the last ice age ended around 12,000 years ago, global temperatures climbed, melting vast ice sheets across the northern hemisphere. This triggered a sea level rise of about 120 meters, nearly 400 feet, over thousands of years. Coastlines once home to early humans were inundated, erasing countless settlements and reshaping the world map. Even today, major cities hug coastlines, so it's logical ancient peoples built near water, but their shores now lie beneath waves, making them hard to study or locate. Despite this, archaeologists have found remarkable submerged sites globally. One notable case is Dwarka, off India's coast. Ancient Sanskrit texts depict Dwarka as a fabled city built by Lord Krishna, long deemed mythical until diverse near-modern Dwarka uncovered vast underwater ruins. Excavations revealed a once thriving city with stone walls, streets, and artifacts, some dating back 7,000 years, hinting at civilizations along now-submerged coasts. Another striking site is at Lit Yam, off Israel. Found in the 1980s, it offers clear evidence of a Neolithic village flourishing 9,000 years ago, with stone houses, hearths, wells, and preserved burials. Remarkably, at Lit Yam revealed the earliest known human tuberculosis cases, offering rare insights into ancient diseases. Its preservation, thanks to gradual flooding and sediment, provides a window into prehistoric coastal life before sea rise submerged it. Further west, beneath the Mediterranean near Greece, lies Pavlopetri, roughly 5,000 years old. Discovered in the late 1960s and mapped by divers, its sophisticated layout, with roads, organized buildings, courtyards, and tombs, makes it one of the oldest submerged towns known, hinting at advanced early urban planning. Another debated find is the Yonaguni Monument off Japan's Yonaguni Island. Its geometric formations suggest human-made structures thousands of years old to some, while mainstream archaeologists argue it's a natural formation shaped by currents and tectonics. Its precise angles, terraces, and possible carvings fuel ongoing debate, adding another underwater enigma. These sites highlight just a few known submerged locales, raising the possibility of countless undiscovered settlements beneath the oceans. With less than 10% of ocean floors mapped in detail, many more may remain hidden. Marine archaeology faces steep challenges, costly, time-intensive excavations hampered by currents, poor visibility, and sediment. Stone endures, but wood, textiles, and organics vanish, leaving gaps in the record. Yet, the implications are profound. Sea rise likely erased entire cultures and histories along ancient shores. Some scholars now argue our view of early societies is incomplete due to missing submerged evidence. This isn't about fantasy but the reality that humanity's story is deeper than we thought. The more we explore underwater ruins, the clearer it becomes. Vital chapters of our past await beneath the waves. On land, ancient mysteries persist, especially in feats of engineering. Megalithic structures worldwide stand as silent testaments to societies whose methods we don't fully grasp. In Baalbek, Lebanon, within a Roman temple complex, lie 3 massive limestone blocks, the trilithon, each weighing about 800 tons, akin to 150 large elephants. Their precise cutting, transport, and placement astound, as even modern machinery would struggle. How did an ancient culture manage this? Equally baffling is Sacsayhuaman in Peru, above Cusco. Its vast stone walls, made of polygonal blocks up to 100 tons, fit so tightly no paper could slip between, using no mortar. This precision, with limited technology, confounds. Nearby, Puma Punku in Bolivia, near Lake Titicaca, features stonework so exact it seems machine-cut, with interlocking shapes, straight grooves, and polished surfaces. Dated to over 1,500 years, its advanced techniques seem out of place. How were these achieved? Beyond these, other megaliths raise questions. Stonehenge in England, over 4,500 years old, used massive pillars hauled over 200 kilometers. Its purpose, ceremonial, astronomical, or other, remains unclear, though its logistics impress. On Malta, the 5,000-year-old temples of Hagar Kim and Najdra, built with limestone slabs aligned to celestial events, puzzle with their effort sans metal tools. In Laos, the plain of jars scatters hundreds of ton-heavy stone jars, their purpose, burial, ceremonial, or otherwise, unknown. These sites share a theme: ancient peoples achieved extraordinary feats despite presumed technological limits, challenging our assumptions. Scholars suggest ramps, ropes, pulleys, and sheer effort, yet these struggle to explain the precision at Baalbek, Sacsayhuaman, or Puma Punku. Some propose ancient builders wielded advanced geometry, astronomy, or physics. Others cite communal effort driven by spiritual motives. Still, questions linger. How did they manage logistics? How did they shape stone so precisely without metal tools? This uncertainty doesn't imply the mystical but highlights gaps in our knowledge of ancient techniques. These sites suggest societies far more innovative than we imagined. Today, archaeologists use laser scanning, drone mapping, and geological analysis to study these wonders, each find deepening the puzzle. The ancient world is richer and more mysterious than simple narratives suggest. History isn't a linear climb from crude to complex but a tapestry of innovation and enigma. Baalbek stones, Sacsayhuaman's blocks, and Puma Punku's carvings urge humility and openness. Our story unfolds, with chapters yet unwritten. The lesson isn't just how little we know of our forebears but how much awaits discovery in the silent stonework of the past. These sites remind us our grasp of history is fragile, built on what time spares. Much of the past has vanished, leaving silence. We imagine history neatly preserved, books on shelves, artifacts in cases, but preservation is rare. Wood, textiles, and leather decay fast, metal rusts away. In 10,000 years, little of our lives, plastic, metal, glass, would endure, reduced to fragments. Future archaeologists might find concrete or steel traces, but our civilization's richness would erode. Nature's forces, tectonics, quakes, eruptions, climate shifts, reshape Earth, submerging coastal cities or burying regions in ash or sediment. Flood myths globally, like Atlantis or Mesopotamian epics, may echo real catastrophes, sea rise or disasters erasing communities. These tales, hard to verify, reflect a truth: Earth's upheavals have altered societies, often without clear traces. Archaeology, marked by gaps, relies on rare preserved fragments. For every Gobekli Tepe or Mount Padang, thousands of sites may be lost. The greatest mystery is how much we'll never know. Yet, this isn't despair but a reminder that history evolves. Each find adds to our puzzle, each mystery invites wonder. The silence doesn't just hide the past, it shows how precious the fragments we have are, inspiring us to keep seeking humanity's endless tale. These gaps aren't mere voids but reminders that history bends under sudden change. Cultural memories, preserved in stories passed down, highlight vivid moments. Global myths of floods, fiery cataclysms, and lost worlds may hold historical kernels. Plato's Atlantis, a fabled island sunk in a day, likely allegorical, may draw from real events like Thera's eruption around 1600 BCE, which triggered tsunamis and altered the Mediterranean. Egyptian tales of Tepe, a golden age ended by floods, may encode memories of Ice Age climatic shifts. Transmitted orally, these stories gained symbolic layers, turning history into enduring myths. Universal flood tales, like Gilgamesh, indigenous American stories, or biblical accounts, describe waters wiping out societies, leaving few survivors. These may reflect the Younger Dryas event 12,000 years ago, when rapid cooling and warming flooded coasts, erasing communities. Survivors likely wove these into tales, gradually mythologized. Earth's record shows other upheavals, supervolcanoes, quakes, tsunamis, like Toba's eruption 74,000 years ago, which cooled the globe. Such events likely shaped cultural memory. Myths weren't mere entertainment but vessels for collective trauma, shaping beliefs. We must stay grounded, not chasing wild theories, but recognizing myths may hold clues to events we don't fully grasp. History weaves from archaeology, records, and stories, each offering partial glimpses. Myths like Atlantis or flood tales endure by capturing universal experiences, loss, survival, renewal, reminding us our civilization exists in a volatile world. The goal isn't to prove grand claims but to ask better questions, blending tradition with science to approach our past with curiosity and humility. From Gobekli Tepe to Mount Padang, submerged cities to megalithic wonders, history defies simplicity. Each find reminds us our past is incomplete, not proof of conspiracies but of missing chapters. Scholars approach these cautiously, as bold claims need robust evidence. Caution doesn't stifle curiosity but guides it toward deeper insights. Knowledge grows by exploring the unknown, not shunning it. These mysteries, underwater ruins, precision stonework, or myth-encoded events, invite thoughtful wonder, not rash conclusions. Their questions enrich history, urging open-mindedness. We crave tidy answers, but the past resists them. Evidence is fragile, myths blend fact and fancy, and nature erases clues. Humble inquiry, accepting uncertainty, valuing each find, suits history best. Truth lies buried, awaiting careful discovery. History isn't a fixed tale we inherit but a probe we join. These sites and myths aren't fantastical but reminders of how much awaits. Beneath earth, waves, or stories, truth bides its time. History's reward isn't certainty but the awe of what's yet to be found. If these enigmas captivate you, share your thoughts. Which site or find struck you most? The precision of megalithic works, submerged ruins hinting at lost coasts, or myths holding forgotten truths? Comment below what piqued your interest. If you enjoyed this deep dive, consider subscribing for more. Thanks for joining me. Stay curious, stay safe.